Okay, where I left off, I said I was going to try to wrap it up, but me being an amateur, I didn't know you could only put so much on YouTube. But anyway, as I said, my lawyer, he went with me to Illinois Department of Human Rights, and he sold me out, and he just sat there and let them dog me out, and yell at me, and the man at Illinois Department, he even yelled at me. I just felt like I was being tortured in the room. But anyway, so my lawyer, as I said, didn't get back with me. He shook my hand, and I thought he would, follow up with the paperwork, but he didn't even do that. And when I did call the Illinois Department of Human Rights, it was a deadline, and I only had so many days, and I didn't know where my lawyer was. But so that fell through right there. And so then I got another paralegal to write up some paperwork for me, and he got sick, so I couldn't, I had to do it by myself. From the judge up in Chicago, sending paperwork in and stuff, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of feeling my way. And the judge, as I said, let Sony win because he said I wasn't doing my job. I said, yes, I was. I had a interview on the 29th of May, and it said I was doing what they expected of me. And so, yes, I called and left a message because I figured, I was going to lose the case. So, yeah, I did call the HR man and say something to him. But like I said, he had SWAT to come to my house and everything. And then the paramedic, he lied on me. He put me in the ambulance because they said they were doing a wellness check. And I said, well, here in the house check. But he took me out in the ambulance, and he started driving off. And then later on, when I got the paperwork back, like I said, I had another job in 2019, and it was time for me to go for a physical. And yeah, I had to go get some paperwork for the doctor because he said that on the paperwork it said, had you been in a mental institution? And I told him, yeah, I just got out, And he said, well, you got to show me some paperwork, what was going on. So, yeah, so like I said, when I got in the ambulance, he started driving off. I never looked at the paperwork, but when I did, the ambulance said, and I didn't say nothing to the ambulance guy, because what could I do? I just sat there and rode. And he wrote on his paperwork that I told him that I was going to blow up the company. And I didn't tell him that. And then when they got me to the hospital, the doctor lied for Sony, and he said that I said I was going to shoot it up. And he wrote his paperwork up as if I came in from a car accident, which I did have a car accident in 2008. And that car accident, he wrote that car accident up that I was brought in none, you know, I was kind of out of it. And yeah, but that was in 2008, and this was 2020. And that doctor wrote that up like I was brought in from a car accident. So he was just doing whatever Sony told him to do to get me sent to the mental institution. And so him and the caseworker, that's what they did. Said I was brought in from a car accident. No, I was brought in from my house. But, and no accident. So, yeah, that happened. All stemming from this case. The HR lied on me. So, yeah. So, the doctor, he asked me, do you know what bamboozle mean? I said, yes. He said, well, they bamboozled you. He said, but I'm going to sign these papers. He said, because, here a doctor I ain't never met in my life. He'd been in school, 8 years? He said, I'm going to sign the papers. He said, because, I read the papers and after what you had told me, I know they bamboozled you. So I signed, he signed the paper for me to keep my job. And, he said, because I'll lose my job and they'll shut that company down. So he signed the papers because he seen that where they were lying, what a doctor lied at. I didn't have no car accident. I wasn't brought in from no car accident. They picked me up at my house because Sony told them to. But yeah. So now that I know how to kind of operate this a little bit, I'm going to cut this off and start another video to finish up. And then I will round it out. But I said, if I got to think about this in my head, never go away, why not put it in the atmosphere? It'll be out there always too. About the wonderful Oz of Sony.